Anybody out there?
One second.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jan.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome to another exciting and informative session of health and wellness, brought to you courtesy of PNBG, Phoenix National Business Group and Edutainment. Yes, the words of Black Eyed Peas, I think tonight we're gonna have a good time. So without further ado, allow me to introduce the guest panels tonight. And as a program reminder, tonight we're gonna have a trivia question, so the lucky person who posts the answer on Zoom for the first person will get a prize. Sounds good? Okay. Now we are going to introduce our first guest, Mr. Jason Harris. Jason, as some of us know him as the fitness guru, he's a certified personal trainer who knows how to help keep the stamina alive in the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. And don't we all need some mobility and momentum in this time? Jason also works with natural food elements, so there is no shortage of taking care of the mind, body, and soul where Jason is concerned. And now, let me introduce to you Mr. Jason Harris.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to share with you guys 3 tips, 3 exercise tips on keeping us mobile and physically strong during this time. So you can do these movements anywhere, in your house, at the gym, in the park. I'm going to start with the simplest movement on the ground, and then we'll progress up to the most challenging one. If you want to move along with me, you're more than welcome to, but I also will be stopping and educating you on that movement. We're going to keep it simple, and we're going to start with the bird dog. This will be on the ground on your mat or on your rug, whichever is easiest for you. We're going to start on our hands and knees. So movement number 1 out of 3 is the bird dog. With this motion, we're starting with the palms underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath your hips. And we're going to keep our belly strong and our spine flat. So a tabletop position. And we'll start by reaching one leg back, your right leg. Let me give myself a little more room. With that straight, strong right leg, I want you to notice your belly muscles engaging. The bird dog motion is to help turn on our abs and our hips. This is the midsection, which will help keep us balanced and strong and will benefit the rest of the movements that we do through the day. I'm going to make this a little bit harder by adding my opposite arm. And we're just going to hold this for maybe 10 more seconds. If this is challenging, you can relax that arm back down to the earth and just hold the leg out. We're going to switch sides. I'm going to show you a little more of an advanced position. Now, you can start by holding this for maybe 30 seconds. You can even start in 10 seconds if you need to. And then, if you want to challenge yourself, you can move all the way up to a minute or 2. If you get to 2 minutes, then I would love to offer you a harder, more challenging option by curling your foot under so that you push through that toe and lift the knee off the ground, making sure your back is nice and flat. Slowly releasing. Excellent, bird dog. Now, it's important that we keep it even on each side, so I just want to go through it one more time. I'm going to do the challenging position, starting with that right leg. We're going to reach the left arm forward. Like I said, you can hold this for 30 seconds or to a minute. If you get to 2 minutes, I'm going to show you that challenging position where you curl the toe under and you lift that knee, keeping your belly really strong if you'd like. And then coming back down to the earth, we're going to switch to the other side. We're going to do the more simple, the starting position, maybe level 1 position, and that's just holding it. So even here, you'll feel the belly engage and you'll feel your hips engage. I'll reach my arm out for 1 deep breath, feeling really long, and then slowly release. Excellent, everyone. Next movement is our squat. I'm going to start in a chair. Like I said, these movements are really simple and everyone can do them. So in this starting position, I'm going to scoot myself to the edge of my chair. We're going to make sure that our foundation is really strong, so your feet are really strong. I'm going to notice the arches of my feet lifting up because we want to make sure the feet have a really strong support system, which will make the rest of the body be aligned. Noticing my forefoot, the big toe, pressing down, and then noticing my heel pressing down. I'm going to use my arms as momentum and a counterbalance to help me stand up. Reaching my arms forward, keeping my back straight as always. I'm going to lean forward with my chest, feel my feet be really strong, flex my belly, because we always start with our core, and then drive through those feet, through those heels, coming to a nice standing position. Standing position. This is also really important. We're at the top of our squat. Look down at your feet. Make sure your foundation, your toes are still straight forward. This will make sure that your knees are in alignment. It's okay to turn them out slowly, but over time, make sure the toes are straight forward. You can reach those arms out again as a counterbalance to help you to sit back to your chair, keeping your belly really strong, keeping your torso, your posture up, and then making sure the chair is there. So next, I'm going to increase the intensity of this challenge, of this movement. So I'm going to pretend I don't have a chair underneath me anymore. I'm going to reach my arms forward, starting in my squat, and then stand up. So no more chair. Reaching forward, keeping the chest lifted, feet are strong, knees aren't coming past my toes, and then stand up. So you can do this motion 10 times, 3 times to just get started. Now, if this feels easy, maybe after 10 or 20, what you can do is explode out of that squat position. So you can reach your arms forward, explode up to the sky, tossing your hands down, and come into a little hop or a jump. So each motion has a simple pose to a more challenging pose. So pick one that works best for you and work your way up. One more time, inhale, exhale, hop. So over time, you can always make it harder by doing 10 in a row or 30 in a row. The last movement we're going to go over it is our walking motion. So walking is the best exercise. We started on the ground, we moved to our seated position, and now we're in our standing poses. The standing position of walking, like I said, toes are straight forward. When we walk, we're almost grabbing the ground with that foot. So pull the ground with your foot. Feel the ball of the foot, feel the heel, push off to help propel you forward. We want to make sure we're activating the backs of the legs. So feel your feet, push into the ground and draw you forward. Your opposite arm reaches with your opposite leg as you move forward. Once walking becomes simple and easy over time, maybe after an hour or 2 of walking, you can increase to a light jog. In your light jog, you want to make sure that your heels are not hitting the ground hard. Again, use your feet, have strong legs, toes pointing straight forward to go into that jog. Maybe after a couple miles, you decide to challenge yourself and maybe do sprints. When you do your sprints, you want to get those knees up and pump those arms as hard as you can. Again, making sure your feet are really strong when they grab the ground. So I just want to thank you all so much. If you'd like to hear more information about how to stay strong during these times and eat healthy and grow food, you can follow me on Instagram at Earth Trainer or follow me on YouTube at Earth Trainer. I look forward to talking to you soon. And remember these 3 exercises: bird dog for your core, squats for your foundation, and walking or running for your overall strength. Thank you, everyone. And I'm going to throw it over to Karen.
Hi, everyone. Wow, Jason, that was so inspiring. Thank you so much. I'm here sweating, and that was great. I really appreciate you so much. I have the privilege of introducing your speaker today. He is a dear friend, and he's also a best-selling author of transforming the ADD and the ADHD conversation, his clarity-focused business income accelerator. He's a board-certified ADD ADHD coach, David Nagel certified coach, Miracle of Money mentor. He's a singer and a songwriter. And he's also the author of the book called Overcome Procrastination, which I love, and it's a very, very easy read. So your speaker, Frank Coppola.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. It's very, very good to be here. First, I want to say thank you for being here. The fact that you are here to the health and wellness webinar shows that you are committed to your own health and webinar. And just showing up, as they say, is 90%. Thanks again. Today, I'm going to be talking about the strategies for managing anxiety and panic during these times. And there are 3 essential points to understand about anxiety and panic. But first place to begin with is the facts. That's what today is about. Experiencing worry, stress, and anxiety, you're not alone. Nearly 40 million people in the United States suffer from anxiety disorder, worry, stress, acute anxiety, or chronic anxiety, according to the American Association of Anxiety and Depression. 3 out of 4 Americans reported feeling stressed in the last month, probably closer to 50 million. Today, I'm going to break down these 5 areas of anxiety. During this session, I'll give you what you can to do, and I'll give you tips and exercises and techniques for dealing with them as well. So again, as Karen was saying, I'm a board certified ADHD coach and mentor. I'm a licensed New York State minister and spiritual counselor. I have 3 years of study in psychoanalytical psychotherapy. I have a PhD level in study of organizational design, which was a 5-year program. I'm an executive business consultant, and I've been involved in the creative arts all my life, interested in human potential and mental health all my life since the time I got in the middle of my parents at age 5. I'm also a speaker, prosperity coach, motivational singer, and I use music and other music to deepen the learning of my clients. And if you haven't guessed already, I have ADHD, and it has served me well. I understand that, and this is important, external results come from internal change. I draw upon my background in business, psychotherapy, and psychology, and there's a no-nonsense attitude that ensures you'll waste no time getting the results you want. So let's move on. So number 3 of the 3 essential points to understand anxiety and panic, worry. What is worry? Worry is what happens when your mind dwells on negative thoughts, uncertain outcomes, or things that could go wrong. Worry tends to be repetitive, obsessive thoughts. It's the cognitive component of anxiety. Simply put, worry happens only in your mind, not in your body. Let me say that again. Worry happens only in your mind and not in your body. So how does worry work? Worry actually is an important function in our lives. When we think about uncertain or unpleasant situations, such as being unable to pay the rent or doing badly on an exam, our brains become stimulated. And when we worry, it calms our brains down. Isn't that cool? Worry is also about the problem solving and taking action, which are positive things. Worry is a way for our brain to handle problems in order to keep you safe. It's only when you get stuck thinking about a problem that worry stops being functional. And 3 things to help. 1 is a worry budget. Give yourself an amount of time in which you allow yourself to worry about a problem. When the time is up, let's say 20 minutes, consciously redirect your thoughts, because you can't be thinking about 2 things at the same time. When you notice you're worrying, push yourself to come up with the next step or to take the next action. Also, write it down. Research has found that just 8 to 10 minutes of writing can help calm obsessive thoughts. Remember, worry is helpful only if it leads to a change, not if it turns into obsessive thoughts. So number 2 of the 3 essential points to understand anxiety and panic: stress. What is stress? Stress is the physiological response connected to an external event. It's about the body. There must be a stressor. Stress is defined as a reaction to external changes or forces that exceed the individual resources. In essence, you're out of control. I can imagine how that must feel for you. I know how it feels for me when I have this sense of not being in control. And during this pandemic, we're all feeling this stress, worry, anxiety. But let me continue. Sounds familiar, no? So how does stress work? Stress is a natural response to a threat, like hearing a predator in the bushes. Stress prompts the physical response, firing up your limbic system, releasing adrenaline and cortisol, which help activate your brain and body to deal with the threat. Stress might feel good at first as the adrenaline and the cortisol flood your body. You might have experienced the benefits of stress as you race through traffic. Picture for a moment that happening to you. That's a kind of stress, but it's not the kind of stress that debilitates you. So just imagine these simplistic kinds of stresses. Waiting online at the supermarket while somebody ahead of you is taking all their time to pay the bill. You know this story, right? That's called acute stress, and the rush wore off when the situation was resolved. Let's look at chronic stress. On the other hand, is when your body stays in this fight or flight mode continuously, usually because the situation doesn't resolve, as with financial stress. Chronic stress is linked to health, digestive issues, increased risk of heart disease, and the weakening of the immune system. So you can just imagine how we're all feeling at this particular time. And there's a tendency to actually get ill during these particular times. As a matter of fact, I've had the past couple of days, I haven't been feeling very well, and I wouldn't be surprised it's because of stress. 3 things to help. Get exercise, as Jason was saying. This is a way for your body to recover from the increase of adrenaline and the cortisol. Get control. Focus your energy on what you can control and accept what you can't. Don't compare. This is an important one. People respond differently to stressful situations. Remember, stress is the biological response that is normal part of our lives. Now, the number one of the three essential points to understand anxiety and panic, what is panic? What is anxiety? If stress and worry are the symptoms, anxiety is the culmination. Anxiety has the cognitive element, worry, the physiological element, stress, which means that we experience anxiety in both our mind and our body. In some ways, anxiety is what happens when you're dealing with a lot of worry and a lot of stress. So how does anxiety work? Remember, stress is a natural response to a threat. Well, anxiety is the same thing, except there is no threat. Anxiety in some ways is the response to a false alarm. Showing up at work and somebody gives you an off look. Your body starts to stress out. Response because you're telling yourself that your boss is upset or that your job might be at risk. The blood is flowing, the adrenaline is pumping, your body is in a state of flight or fight, but there is no real threat. The difference between feeling anxious, which can be a normal part of everyday life, and having an anxiety disorder. An anxiety disorder is a serious medical condition that may include stress and worry. So here are three things that can help. Limit sugar, alcohol, caffeine, because anxiety is physical. Stimulants may have a significant impact. Refocusing can calm and break the anxiety loop. Wiggle your toes. Sounds funny, right? How do you feel? This kind of distraction, when you're in the middle of an anxiety episode, talking and thinking about it won't help. Use your senses. Listen to music or jump rope. Anxiety happens in your mind and your body. So trying to think your way out of it won't help. You can't think yourself out of anxiety. You cannot think yourself out of anxiety. Very important. Here are a couple of other things that can help a great deal. Focus on happiness and gratitude. You may ask, why is happiness and gratitude important in anyone's life? Very simply, gratitude is considered the highest virtue that anyone can have, because when you're feeling so badly about things that are going on in your life, there are things for you to be grateful for. It could be that you're just right there at that moment experiencing something in a good way. Happiness is what happens to you through humor, through entertainment, through the sheer joy of looking at the sky and just saying, my God, what a beautiful color. So why is happiness and gratitude important in anyone's life? Because when you are concentrating on other things like happiness and gratitude, you actually cannot concentrate on stress. The mind cannot be thinking of two things at one time. It's impossible. I talk a lot about this in my book, 8 Simple Steps to Overcome Procrastination, but we can talk about that in a little later. So, excuse me. The takeaway. Worry happens in your mind. Stress happens in your body, and anxiety. Worry happens in your mind. Stress happens in your body. Anxiety happens in your mind and body. In small doses, they can be positive forces. Research shows that most of us are too worried, too stressed, and too anxious. The good news is that there are ways to help regulate your symptoms, get enough sleep, eat regular, nutritious meals, and move your body. Important. You're going to be listening to other people tonight talk about that. And I think it's important that you continue listening about that. Now, Karen mentioned to you my book, 8 Simple Steps to Overcome Procrastination. We've got a few minutes. I just want to take something out of here, which I think might be fun. The book is very, very small, but it's incredibly informative. And I write in a way that I think people should have some fun with it. I also wrote this book so that at any particular time, you can just open up to any page and there's something of value there for you. So there are different types of procrastinators. I'm going to read a few of them and tell me, which procrastinator do you think you are? The perfectionist. No action is taken unless all is in place and is perfect. The what-ifer. Consumed by worry, their focus is on excuses to move forward. Captain No. This type scrutinizes everything, finding what's wrong. They believe that by seeing what's wrong, they can control the outcome. They criticize an idea, as well as each person attached to the idea. Their criticism eventually affects their behavior as they focus on the problem rather than the possibilities on the solution. I'm so excited, but maybe not today. That's the other one. Start, stop, start. This type reacts to energy, power, and wow. They talk about what is going on, what is going to be done. They live in the future. They'll spend enormous amounts of time talking about fantasizing how fantastic the idea is. They may spend their time defending how great it is. Many times they will burn out or lose interest. They can be classified also as self-defeating. I can see the whole thing. I love this one. This overview paralyzes them from taking any action. Perfection paralyzes progress. Well, I got so many possibilities here. I don't know which one to go by. That's the other one. The Riddler. All the pieces of the riddle are not in place. Once figured out, they will then start to get the job done and completed. The enthusiastic and the energetic. Boy, they jump in right away. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and the next thing you know, they're not around. The great pretender. Everyone makes believe they have the competence, experience, as well as success in the past events, puffing up their self-esteem until they actually have to do the work. The other one is take to the sheets or overwhelmed. They have so many things they need to get done, they cannot get moving. And this is a quote I really love. The one thing that's good about procrastination is that you always have something planned for tomorrow. So let me just wrap up here a little bit. If anybody needs additional help or have questions, please contact me and I'll give you my email address, which is frank@francopola.com. I'm sorry, frank@addcoachinggroup.com. frank@addcoachinggroup.com. Or you can go to my Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/Frank Coppola 514. Now, when you get there, you can just private message me. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. My phone number is 646-295-5625. Now, I want to make an offer to you, and I'd really like you to consider this and go take something. There's, you know how time management is such an issue with people. So I've written a paper called 6 Steps to Time Management Mastery. And I'd like to give you this as a gift for coming and being here with us. You can go to my website, www.addcoachinggroup.com. When you get there, Just put in your email address and you'll be downloaded with 6 steps to time management mastery. Again, I want to thank you all for being here, and I'm very happy that you are committed to your health and well-being. And now I'd like to turn it over. Janet, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so, Frank. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm at the edge of my chair because I'm about to give this one a standing ovation. 2 wonderful speakers, lots of information. You can't get it better. Everything tonight is so bona fide and so true because it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. And as I promised you earlier on, you're going to have a trivia question. The first person to post in the Zoom will get a prize. And I don't know what the prize is, but something wonderful. Now, the question is, why is gratitude important? Question is, why is gratitude important? So you go right ahead. If you were listening to Frank's message, you should have the answer because I know he repeated that more than once. So go ahead and post your answer to the Zoom chat and you will get a prize if you're the first one. Now, to spice things up a little, we are going to give you the full spectrum of good health tonight. I'm about to bring on our final guest for the night. So make sure you have some ink left in your pens because a lot of notes and information. Now, this guest comes very loaded as well. And I'm going to read your quote that she always goes by, her mantra, let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. Very powerful, almost sounds like a tongue twister. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on Mona Ostrowski, as I like to call her, Mona O. She is a wellness advocate, a nurse, and a therapist. And Mona is now going to present to you all you need to know on wellness and food and medicine. Welcome, Mona.
Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for that introduction. That was awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me again. I'm so excited to be here. And Frank, that was awesome. I mean, I don't know if I have any ink left in my pen. I was taking notes all the way through. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. And Jason as well, you know that I'll be doing those squats later, you know, to keep up that core work. So yeah, I'm just so excited to be here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I have a little bit of a slideshow to share with you. So give me a minute. Right, here we go. Oops, that didn't work, I think. Oh no, present, there. Here we go. All right, can you guys see it all right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so I just need to, lost my notes, sorry. Here we go. All right, so wellness has been a passion of mine for almost a decade. It's whether it's been through massages where I always use essential oils or through diet and lifestyle choices. I've always sought out alternative ways to optimize my health. And even back when I was in nursing school, my thesis at the end of my studies was about building the bridge between conventional medicine and complementary medicines like massage and aromatherapy, acupuncture, and homeopathy. Later in life, when I turned from a standard American diet to becoming a vegan, I mean, that just changed my overall, the changes to my overall health and well-being were just so big that I couldn't turn a blind eye anymore. So I also started looking around, like I changed my diet, exercise was always a huge part, and the essential oils were my medicine cabinet. But I started looking into other products as well, things around the house. And what I was really exposing not just myself, but my family and my kids as well. And I started reading also the labels of my cleaning products. And I swear, like when you start reading and you see the warning signs and everything, things started moving out, and day by day and week by week, I had only like a few products left. I mean, have you ever thought why all of our cleaning products have child safety locks on them? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. We have our children crawling on the floor, and we clean our clothes and our house. So it really, really was an eye-opener to me. So I also changed all my conventional cleaning products in the house to more natural ones, from my laundry detergent to my dishwasher soap to everything. And I must say, though, unfortunately, they weren't always as efficient as I wanted them to be. But for me, it was more important that they were natural. But recently, though, I did find a company where I can buy natural and green products that actually work. So my laundry detergent used to be natural, but it wasn't efficient. And usually they came, without a scent. But now I have clean clothes that actually smell good. And when I clean my bathroom now, it's not like I have to quickly spray it, leave, wait for a little bit for the kind of dust to fall, and then come in and clean it. Now everything I do is natural. And my husband, because he just needs to test everything out, he actually went as far as spraying this on his hand to see how it was. And he didn't dry out. It didn't feel harsh on his skin. And our house is as clean as it's ever been. And you know what? I don't say this lightly. I wouldn't recommend anything unless I actually tried it myself. And it works. So I knew I'd make the right choice years ago and in going natural, but I was still shocked when I came across this 20-year independent study that showed that using spray and liquid home cleaning products is as bad for you as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Well, I'm glad I made the decision back then, and I'm glad I'm sticking to it now as well. So all of this kind of ties into what this webinar is really about. It's about creating a healthier life today so that we can enjoy a better tomorrow. I mean, I do love let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food, but that also links back to the fact that prevention is better than the cure, and that is what we're working towards here. Last week, Karen was here and she did an amazing talk about the importance of healthy, wholesome nutrition. I really recommend getting her book so that you can continue educating yourself further, and she will share a little bit more about that later. And Jason was here last week as well, showing us those easy to do from home exercises to start supporting your body through movement. I mean, you can also join his Zoom exercises online and start moving around from the comfort of your own home. You know what, Phil, you know what you were saying, where nobody will be watching? And I know I'll be joining in as well. And what I talked about last week was the importance of supplementation, something extra to help support your immune system even more through these pandemic times. And what I suggest for you to do, if you weren't able to join us last week, go back to the Facebook page and find the talk, because there's a lot of good information there as well. And today, Frank, again, what he shared was just amazing. He mentions everything that we've talked about, the importance of exercise, the importance of healthy eating, and just that thing of maintaining a positive mind. You know, I love what did he call it? The worry budget. I loved it. That's such a good idea. Yes, of course, you can't ignore the fact that you have worries in life, but to try and minimize it to a certain period of time and then give yourself that, okay, stop, now I need to move on to the next. I think that's a great challenge. So before I move on, I just want to disclose that the information that I'm about to share has not been evaluated by the FDA, and that these products are not intended to either diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Full disclosure. So, as Frank said, maintaining a positive outlook on life is so important. I'm not going to lie though. This period through these pandemic times, it has for me been one of the most challenging times in my life. And I think it goes back to, again, what Frank said. It was that, not being in control, that not knowing that caused me to feel uneasy, not knowing when this would be over, not knowing how long my company would be able to keep me on payroll, not knowing if there even would be a job for me when we got back, and just not knowing what would the new normal look like. And then when the days turned into weeks and then turned into months, well, I was getting to a place where I didn't like myself. And so I decided to try this Luminex that I have on the picture. And oh my, it was a life changer for me. I feel amazing. I feel like myself again. I can smile now. I laugh. I have energy. And I feel motivated and inspired for the first time in weeks. Again, it's all nutraceuticals, all natural products, and it fits with my overall lifestyle of health and well-being. And it gives me that extra energy now to just move ahead with life. So no matter what life throws at you, for the everyday stresses or the moodiness, I can sincerely recommend trying this formula to help support your emotional balance and the confidence to live life to the fullest and greet every day with a smile. It has truly and genuinely changed my life to the better. And another thing as well that I thought was important to talk about, which Frank also mentioned in his talk, is the need for sleep. As adults, we need at least 7 hours sleep each night. And we're not all the same. Some of us are night owls, others are morning birds, some need a lot of sleep, and some might not need much at all. I actually read a really interesting book a while back called The Power of When. So, and this addresses the different kind of sleep types that we have. He calls them chronotypes. And you can actually go online and you can take the quiz and you can find out which one is yours, which is your chronotype. So just type in thepowerofnow.com and there's the quiz, and you will find out if you're a morning person, an evening person, if you need a lot of sleep or not a lot of sleep. And it's a really, really interesting book. But again, what does matter though, is the quality of sleep that you get when you do finally put your head on the pillow. So personally, I have no problem sleeping at all. I am a lot like my grandmother in that sense, and she always used to say, I can sleep anywhere except in an ant's hill. And she lived until she was 93. Bless her, I miss her so much. Getting enough sleep has been linked, as Frank mentioned as well, to optimal immune health, metabolic health, memory, learning, and other vital functions. I mean, the book, The Power of When, it will teach you strategies on how to optimize your life and when is the best time to work out and eat and nap and drink so that you get the most out of everything and still get to sleep and wake up energized. But for some of us, we might still be needing a little bit of help, and this natural blend is amazing. My husband has had trouble sleeping for as long as I've known him. And once we got this in the house, I think he had his first good night's sleep in almost 20 years. It was that amazing. It works so that once you first take it, it gives you a quick release of melatonin to kind of help you fall asleep. And then you have a time release of melatonin that's dissolved throughout the night to work with your body's natural sleep cycle and help you stay asleep throughout the night. He swears by it. I obviously don't need it unless I'll be sleeping in an anthill, which I don't intend to do anytime soon. And last but not least, and I cannot talk about stress and anxiety and sleep without mentioning my beloved essential oils. I've been working with essential oils for almost a decade, and these are, like I said, this is what you'll see in my medicine cabinet. I use peppermint for tummy aches and fevers. I use lemon oil for alertness and positive mood. I mean, a fun fact, you see the little lemon bottle on the picture? It actually takes 75 lemons. The essential oil comes from the lemon peel. It takes 75 lemons to make that bottle of lemon oil. I think that's pretty fun. And of course, my all-time favorite, and I don't go anywhere without this oil, and that is lavender. Lavender is one of the most versatile essential oils. It's widely used to promote feelings of calmness and peace, and just, to create a serene environment for relaxation. I have a bottle right here with me, and it's, you can just pick it up, put a couple of drops in your palm, put it on your temples, rub it in your hands, take a nice deep inhale, put a couple of drops on your pillow before you go to sleep. I always like to put it on the wrists. I always like to go for the areas with the thinnest skin, and it just gives you that feeling of calmness. But remember though, you really, really need to be careful with the essential oils. And I'm just going to say this really quickly. Yes, you can get a bottle like this for $2-3 at the corner store, but I would not recommend getting it. It might say essential oil on the bottle, but a lot of things, what happens is that people would add synthetic or impurities in their bottles to be able to maximize on their profits. So when you go and get your oils, make sure it says that it's 100% pure essential oil. Okay, once you have the pure thing, you'll be good to go, because you know what? Bliss. Sorry. I mean, I can go on and on and on about essential oils and their properties and how they function in your body and everything. But I think it's time for me to pass it back to Janet. So thank you again for having me. And please feel free to reach out to me via email or telephone, or book a Zoom call with me through Calendly. And I would love to continue this conversation with you at any time. So my phone number is 862-256-0104. That's 862-256-0104. Or my email is ostrowski.mona@gmail.com. So ostrowski.mona, M-O-N-A, @gmail.com. And all of the rest of the information for my Calendly will be on Phil's page. So feel free to reach out, and I would be excited to hear from you. Janet, back to you.
Wow, what an entertainment. I can't believe so much in one session, Mona. Thank you so much. And you know what? I share your sentiment with essential oils. I live and die by that. And really, if no one tried it yet, you got to try it now. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Where can you get so much information from the authorities in one session? Nowhere. I'm pretty sure you all are going to try to come back quickly. Next week, we're going to just continue with the same great momentum. Now, by now, you should have answered your trivia question, and congrats to the person who won. And we're not going to leave any stone unturned. I believe Karen has some information on her book. At this point, I will introduce Karen. She was on last week. She's a great author. She's a great speaker. She was on TED's Talk, amazing stuff. Karen, would you like to talk about your book?
Thank you, Janet, very much. Mona, what an amazing presentation. I learned some things I didn't know, so I really appreciate you for that. Frank, that was an amazing presentation as well. Gratitude is always something that I love to talk about as well. So while we're talking about that, I want to talk about my book, Mindful Eating. This is my first book, and I'm actually in the Mindful Eating writing series. I do have a couple more that's coming out, but this is a journal. So like half the book is like a handbook, and you put your, if you can see that, so you circle like if you had any symptoms, and then what happens is you go, it's a, like I said, it's a 30-day journal. So you're writing stuff down. You're also getting things out, like they were talking about earlier today, your movement. So writing down each week, there's something different. So you have your movement, your meditation, your affirmation. And one thing that I love to talk about when I talk about my book, right? So it's mindful eating. So the journaling is really about the mindful part. There is also 2 goals, right? So when you go through the journal, you have a personal goal and a professional goal. And then there's 2 action steps for you to write down. And you have, obviously you have 30 days just to do baby steps and towards your goal. So each week you'll check in with yourself. And there's also 5 weeks of recipes in here. And there's content, everything from the pH balance in food, the acid alkaline balance, seasonal eating. There is spices and herbs, which I can't wait to hear Carlene speak. And I feel like when you listen to her speak, it's going to be like a whole new world is opened, because it's almost like you're getting your brain fed. It's just so amazing. We have superfoods, and to go organic or not. And that's actually going to tie into Jason's as well, because I know he talks about planting food, right? So again, just going organic or not. There are some things that you can buy organically, and there's some things that you really don't necessarily have to. And then growing your own garden, right? That's going to be awesome too. Sugar in the aging connection. So we always talk about how bad sugar is, right? But we don't really check our bodies on the inside. It's actually aging our organs. It's exhalated aging. And then the raw differences, the difference between smoothies and juicing, and macerating different units you're using. So I hope that this is very helpful for you. Like I said, it is a journal, so I recommend every 30 days or every 60 days you get get a notebook. I'm gonna say this, but I wasn't gonna say this, but I am launching a new program. So it's going to be a live program, and it's going to be surrounded around mindful eating. So every day during the 30 days, you'll have a live conversation with me. So I'm going to be promoting that. So I hope that you'll be able to join me when this launches.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but also, I also want to give one more shout out. So this, if you have to get Frank's book. It's Overcome Procrastination. It is so amazing. The tips in here are so doable, and it makes you think. So again, I just want to shout out to Frank Coppola, our speaker today. And I also want to say that I'm very grateful for Philip for inviting, and for Janet and everyone here. You guys are very professional, and Philip, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All of you are just so gifted at what you do. And I'm so grateful that you are here. I'm so grateful that you're on the line. I think this is amazing information. And I know that it's going to help a lot of different people who are struggling with all sorts of different ailments. So at this point, I'm going to remind everyone that we're going to be on again next week, Tuesday. Woo! You're going to have some great information going on. They're going to be back. They're going to share some other new things with you. And we're going to be featuring Jason Harris next week. All right. If you enjoyed his little segments throughout these periods, he's going to be our featured presenter next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. You don't want to miss that. He has a ton of information that will be useful to everyone.
Hello.
So we encourage you to come on board and watch us next week. We're going to be on all the different social media networks, so you don't have to worry about where to find us. We are everywhere. And so, you know, if you're looking for good advice, join us again next week. Also, everyone that spoke on in the program today, they are available for a one-on-one with anyone and everyone. So I'm encouraging all of you to feel free to give them a call and just be encouraged that they are professionals at what they do and they're good at what they do.
Philip,
So they're well worth the time. All right. Frank, you wanted to say something?
Yes, we have a winner. It's Reverend Dr. Heather Francis. She got the correction. She got gratitude. She was the person.
All right.
My Get Into Action book. All you need to do is contact me at frank@addcoachinggroup.com. Send me your phone number and email address, and I'll make sure I get it out to you. And for those people who would like to get in contact with me and get the book as well, you can do the same. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Just wanted to make sure she got acknowledged.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Frank. Thank you so much. Ooh, we have a winner. Yay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much again for watching. Next time, join us on our Zoom line so you can win a prize as well. All right, that's the only way you're going to win is if you join us on Zoom. So we look forward to seeing you again. Those who are in the Zoom room, you can stay right there. But those who are on Facebook, we will see you again next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m.